Today I'm taking store-bought pancake mix out of the culinary shame box and using it to make two styles of okonomiyaki, aka Japanese savory pancakes. The two styles are based on the two popular regions in Japan where they're known for their okonomiyaki, Osaka and Hiroshima. The flavors are very similar, but the techniques are super different, so I'm excited to share how you can go both ways. Let's start with Osaka Style okonomiyaki. Now, you can make the batter from scratch, which is super easy to do, but I have no problem reaching in to my basic B pantry to use this stuff. Just pop that all into a bowl. Next up, the liquid. You can use plain water or flavor it up with some dashi stock. Now, you could also make this from scratch, but if you're lazy like me, you could just take some dashi powder and mix it into some hot water and let it cool down, and this is what you'll get. It's flavored with some kombu kelp and bonito flakes, and basically it's that base flavor that you taste in miso soup. It's so good, I love it. Just mix that in. Just get rid of any big lumps. Don't worry if there are any little ones, just leave them in. And mix in 2 eggs. This is the consistency you're looking for. You want it on sort of the thick side like American pancake batter. Traditionally, Japanese mountain yam is grated and it creates a sort of like goopy, sticky texture, and that's what makes a custardy inside to the okonomiyaki. But since it's super hard to find, if you just start off with a thick batter, you're good to go. Now for the rest of the ingredients, I've got some shredded green cabbage here for nice texture. You could shred it, you could chop it, whatever you want to do. Since I love a seafood okonomiyaki, I've got some octopus and shrimp. For the octopus, I just bought it cooked at the market, chopped it up, super easy. And some shrimp, just clean it up, keep it raw, but chop it up so it cooks really quickly. Mix this up until everything's combined. Since I use pancake mix, there's already salt in there. If you're doing this from scratch, obviously add salt to your liking. I also have some pork belly slices here. You don't need to mix this in. This is for a little bit later. It's time to cook, so I'm gonna heat this nonstick pan on medium. You don't want it to be too hot because then the outside will scorch before the inside is fully cooked. Just a nice steady heat. And since I like my okonomiyaki on the smaller side, I'm gonna divide this into 2. Drizzle some oil, just pop it in the pan. I like to go in with 2 spatulas so that it can help me shape it and press. And you want to aim for a nice big round. Check underneath and see if it's a little browned. Oh yeah. Now it's time to add the pork belly slices. Take 2 spatulas. If you have one big one, that's great. If you don't, say your prayers and go in with confidence. One swift motion. Boom. It's looking good, smelling good. I just took a little peek. It's nicely brown. I'm gonna flip it over one more time just to make sure that it all gets cooked through. Do you hear that thud? That pancake is THICC. This is done. Now, if you want some extra insurance, take a fork, stick it right in the middle and hold it there for 3 seconds, and then touch the bottom of your lip. If it's hot, yeah, it's hot. It's done. It's cooked through. Just transfer it to a plate. Oh yeah. Do you hear the bottom? Nice and crispy. Let's go through the toppings here. I've got okonomiyaki sauce, which is a little sweet and tangy, along with some creamy Japanese mayo. Aonori powder. This is just powdered dried seaweed. Scallions. My favorite, Bonito flakes. These thinner than paper shreds are made from dried and smoked bonito fish. They just shave it up, and then when you put it on something hot, they perform this beautiful little dance for you. Some red pickled ginger. I love this stuff. Next up, the Hiroshima Style. So this one is more of a layered savory pancake. It's got the same flavors, but this one has 2 of my favorite things. Crunchy, fresh bean sprouts and the nudes. I love the nudes. The other difference is the batter. So instead of mixing everything into one batter like the Osaka Style, this one has a crepe-like layer. So start off with that same pancake mix, along with some plain water. You could also use dashi stock here. Now the goal is to make a very thin batter. I've got 2 nonstick pans this time on the burner because, again, we're making layers. Some of them need to be separated. Just add in 1 ladle of the batter. and use the bottom of your ladle to form a nice big round. Next, to flavor this up, I've got some Bonito powder. So this is just those Bonito flakes, but powdered up. You could do this in a food processor or mortar and pestle. Sprinkle that around generously. Shredded cabbage. Scallions for some nice oniony flavor throughout. A nice big handful of bean sprouts. More Bonito powder, just like Osaka style, pork belly. These are kind of loose layers here, so to help them glue together a bit, add the rest of the batter. Just drizzle it right on top. Food glue. It's been about a minute, now I'm gonna flip it over. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow. So the technique here is to press with one spatula and squidge with the other one. Squidge is a word. These are yakisoba noodles. You'll find them pre-packaged in the store. They're already kind of cooked. Heat up some oil, add the noodles, then flavor it up with okonomiyaki and Bonito powder. The last and final layer is egg. Typically, you would finish the noodle, move it to the main pancake, then make a single layer of scrambled egg and put everything together. That's too much for me. So what I like to do is just add the scrambled egg right to the noodle layer. And you've got a noodle pancake. I just saved you time. You're welcome. Now transfer the main pancake over to the noodles and then flip the entire thing once over. Woo! Serve it up on a plate and top it like the Osaka style. And there you have it, Osaka and Hiroshima okonomiyaki. Side-by-side comparison, the Osaka style is a lot more compact and thinner, and it also looks a little neater. Hiroshima style has a lot of layers, so it's a lot taller and quite messy, but still delicious. As you chew down, you could feel the layers. So delicious. Osaka style. Super creamy. I love the seafood in there. It's got some texture, but not as noticeable as the Hiroshima version. Again, I love both. I really hope you give these a try because they are so much fun to make and eat.